Welcome to this session. In the recent past, I have been dissatisfied with the rate of progress of cure of my prostate, and I decided to go back to work with some of the frequencies. This time I decided that I would completely start fresh and ask my body to give me the frequencies to use. I have a hypothesis, or you could call it a model, for why these frequencies work. This body is made of cells, and the large number of them is greater by far than the total number of human beings on the face of the planet. And these cells naturally group themselves into communities. But with such a huge number of cells that calling it a nation wouldn't be a bad idea. And the relationships between them, I suspect, are a lot like the political relationships between nations of humans. Well, I suspect that has something to do with why these frequencies work. Suppose a frequency that is associated with a particular community or parasite, for example, might operate as a sort of national anthem, leaving the cells that are within the community feeling very loyal and proud of it, the way our national anthem leaves us feeling proud to be in the nation we are and loyal to it. Well, then what happens if we take this national anthem, if you will, and broadcast it all over the body for a long period? Well, how would you feel if your national anthem was constantly blasting in your ears very loud so that everything in the world could hear it, even the crows outside or the pigeons on the ground? Getting kind of sick of it too, probably. My guess is that the cells within this community would get so sick of it they might just decide to disband the whole community. Well, I did some, and I started the zapping around the 24th of March. It is now April 3rd. And over periods of some weeks, I did a very small number at a time. Today, the 3rd, I asked, are these frequencies still valid? And I got a real shock. More than 2/3 of the frequencies for the organisms were no longer valid. Now, I had always thought these were God-given things and they would never change. Well, I guess if a group has a national anthem and the group is disbanded because the national anthem doesn't excite people anymore, maybe that particular frequency is no longer valid. I don't know what all the reasons are, but I do know it's true. It is interesting that this might in some way correspond to the problems that medicine is encountering with organisms that are resistant to antibiotics and other medicines. Perhaps these things operate through frequencies, and similarly the frequencies become no longer useful. This puts me in an interesting position. I find that the frequencies my body gives me are excellent. They work very well when they're given. But after they've been used successfully, I would have to ask again to be sure they still work. The results have been very interesting. I have concluded that in several cases, the combination of the frequency, the symbol, the audible tone, the spherot tone, which I've described in previous sessions, has made it possible for me to get rid of some large parasites. And I have had a terrible time getting rid of those things in the past. This method does seem to be working. And I'm here to tell you that this has been successful.
Oh, God.
Thanks for being with me. Talk to you again.
I'm sorry I sneezed. Oh, God.